Morning, everyone. This is the day after. I tried recording this last night in the car ride home. However, it just so happened that my phone only had so much time on it, and I ran out on the way home talking about all this stuff. So I had to delete that video and a few other things off my phone, and now here we are. Next morning, thankfully, I wrote down notes and everything like that, texted myself to make sure I had all the important information that we wanted. This is the day. This is the game after video. After the game video. Let's start with a recap. What happened? This will be extremely useful for any member that left, like Gesh, and Todd might even fill. Not Todd. Actually, it's Rudy. Might fill in any of the gaps when you left for that small period of time. So we started off after finding Dr. Isabella, and kind of seeing how calm and level-headed she is about, okay, wait, what do you mean there's no dragons? Why am I not in my cave anymore? How am I in this university, as you call it? Showed us her degree, talked about her thesis on Dritz, and went about things that way. So she was pummeling an orc's head in the ground when we found her. We left to go search other parts of the basement and found a caved-in area, which apparently was a little bit more caved in than they had initially. Because they were digging in that area to try and uncover new areas, but it was about 10 feet or so more caved in than it was. Don't think we found anything there. We made our way back down the other side of the fork. Some of us went to go talk and raise the dead, and talk to the dead orc that she was pummeling, while the rest of us went to go off to search the other corridor. When we got to the other corridor, and what's her name? Her name is the librarian at the university, Portia. At least I believe she's the librarian. Portia opened up the door to the alchemy room, and the wall that ended the alchemy room was destroyed, and beyond it was a pool of elemental power swirling around. There was air, there was fire, there's a small bed of coals kind of, and a swirling wind. I tried to toss my Naga hide headband in there to no effect, but there was a man in there. The man was frozen but not dead. As soon as I went to go retrieve my headband, we heard and started seeing cracks on the opposite side of the wall, where some creatures that we didn't know at the time were more Skrull were breaking down the wall. We got the man out of there. Miguel got him out of there. He was freezing cold, barely alive. Akrith healed him some, and then they warmed him up, and afterwards, Vashlank picked him up and carried him. Also, by that time, they had spoken with the dead on the Skrull and found out that he was here looking for books. He, I believe, yeah, it was said he came through shit. That's how he got there. So yeah, there was other questions, but that was really the main information we got out of it. So that Skro, I believe... Nope, Miguel killed that one. Miguel killed that one. Or maybe Dr. Isabella, I can't remember. That Skro died. And everyone started making their way into the room we were at. What broke through the wall were 4 Skro and that damn Jinn that trapped us in the dollhouse with Ladia. So we attempted to take her. She got the heck out of there. Her Skro died. Where they were turned out to be a lost library. I think what Anthony said was 50 years ago there was a fire, and that was lost. And everything in there was pristine. Nothing was dusty or anything like that, because there was this nice little brass dome, light fixture type thing that was creating a gust of wind to keep the dust off the books. We found a few books. There was one in Draconic that Akerth could not read, but felt it was important, gave it to Soren. Soren pocketed it, and we'll find out what that is next week, hopefully. There were other books, I believe. There were a few more on gunpowder and things like that Miguel found and stashed away. Portia was so enamored with finding all of this information. We found a lot of other boring books. I don't recall if there was anything more important that we had found in there. The Jinn had disintegrated part of the wall and escaped. We searched the rest of the basement to make sure that the Jinn wasn't there, was not there, and we found nothing. We found cold storage. Miguel took some food. We found an empty study, and we found their entry point through the sewers. So we informed the university of that. They'll block that off or guard it or do whatever that they're going to do with it. And Miguel had convinced Portia to, whether financially or otherwise, reward the party. We never did get to that. And then we left. Upon leaving, we were talking, and one of the big things that we were talking about is going to Ishkamir, because Miguel had finally said Ishkamir. I saw Ishkamir in front of Soren, and Soren was like, "You saw someone that we knew 5 years ago. Let's go talk to that person and fill in some gaps." While there, he got books from Miguel. He got a Skro to torture and play with, and we talked a little bit. There was a letter from from Sal to Miguel in case Ishkamir ever ran into him, and it was saying that he had found Tulio's loot of the Scorpion and not Tulio. So he knew that Tulio was in danger, and this is a big draw for Miguel to either leave the group or take the group with him. Soren trying to convince him that he was better without Tulio, because he wants him to be a better person, and what he believes to be can be a hero. He believes Miguel has that power. So there was a lot of good roleplay there. And then we got to Ishkamir. Like I said, we gave him all that stuff. Oh no, I was already talking about that. So we were at Ishkamir, we gave him all that stuff, we had that discussion, and then it kind of just dawned on us that we don't really know each other. We don't know anything more about each other than really what Sam had told us. And Soren brought that up and said, we need to have a powwow and find out what we want to do. And so that's where we ended.